Donald Trump is losing. He's losing the narrative around these deportations. He's losing in court. And now he's losing, and he's telling us he's losing, by sharing what is being said is a doctored photo of Kilmar Abrego Garcia's hand. Now, you might have seen this really disturbing image from the White House. This is the White House. The White House's Twitter account posted this retelling of the New York Times story about Abrego Garcia, and they called him an MS-13 illegal alien. And they said he's never coming back. He's never coming back. Well, I have news for them, because that really woke up the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court late last night, I'm told this is like an insane thing that happened, that this motion was filed. This decision was filed so quickly. And they said in an emergency filing, lawyers had asked the justices to stop the deportations. The Supreme Court has temporarily blocked the Trump administration early Saturday, that was late last night, from deporting another group of Venezuelan migrants accused of being gang members under the expansive powers of a rarely invoked wartime law. The government is directed not to remove any member of the putative class of detainees for the United States until further order of this court. The court said in a brief, unsigned order that gave no reasoning, as is typical in emergency cases. Incredible. And that was a 7-2 decision. 7-2 decision. So the Supreme Court is stepping up, thank God. And also Van Hollen, Senator Van Hollen, is stepping up too. And he really put this into perspective.
And it's also important that people understand this case is not just about one man. It's about protecting the constitutional rights of everybody who resides in the United States of America.
Yes.
If you deny the constitutional rights of one man, you threaten the constitutional rights and due process for everyone else in America.
Absolutely. This is not about one person. We are focused on one person, but this one person represents a much larger issue, and that is what Donald Trump is doing, where he's saying, if we send you somewhere, if we take you, we imprison you, and then we fly you to another country and put you in prison, then we don't have to ever worry about you again. You don't have to go through a court or trial or have any due process. So if he can do that to this one man, then he is basically saying laws do not exist anymore. That's what this is about. This isn't about one person. This one person represents a very large idea, which is, are we going to be a society of laws, or are we going to be a society that's lawless and with one man who decides what is and isn't law? And Donald Trump, in a press conference yesterday, I'm going to show you the photo real fast. He came out with this new evidence that Kilmar Abrego Garcia is an MS-13 gang member. I'm going to show you why that was doctored and why that is wrong. But you can tell that Donald Trump is, I mean, people hate when I say this. Donald Trump is he's very ignorant. He's very ignorant, but he is politically cunning. And he knows when he's got a loser, he's got a stinker. I mean, he so quickly can switch his positions on anything. One, because he doesn't believe anything, but two, because he knows where the winning side of an argument is. And you can see here, this is one of the tells that Donald Trump does. When Donald Trump is losing, Donald Trump stops to take any sort of responsibility whatsoever. And here's doing it right now.
While we're on the subject, right? So you're talking about Abrego Garcia. Is that the one? Yeah. Is an illegal alien, MS-13 gang member, and foreign terrorist. This comes out of the State Department and very legitimate sources. I mean, I assume I'm just giving you what they handed to me, but this was supposed to be certified stuff.
See, I was creating distance there. I'm just reading what they handed to me. Now, of course, in any other world, it would be insane that the president of the United States is just showing evidence without any thought or like any consideration. He's like, well, I'm just showing you what they showed me. Like, he doesn't know, apparently doesn't know if it's real or not, is what he's saying. And one person put it like this. Oh, he agreed with me. He said, yes, Trump does have political instincts. And you can often tell when Trump senses a topic is a political loser because he claims to know very little bit about it and starts passing the buck. And that's exactly what he did here. And I want to just talk about this photo real fast because this photo is doctored. And that to me is another way to tell that this thing is that they're losing here, because look at what they're implying, that on his knuckles, which by the way, I kind of love these tattoos. I mean, I don't know if you guys know, but I've got a bunch, and these are pretty. I actually have a tattoo just like that. Am I a gang member? Look, let me see if I can. It's like, see that? A smiley face, but it's a frown. He's got a smiley face, but it's the same tattoo. Anyway, okay. So a marijuana leaf, a smiley face with X's, a cross, and a skull. They're saying represents MS-13. Now, they have to even put the letters on this photo. They had to doctor the photo, the MS-13, to just show, to make it more implicit what they're trying to say. But the research has been done on this, and this does not mean anything. It does not mean anything. They're just making shit up. They're just making shit up. The tattoo speculation started swirling after U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi released documents earlier this week alleging Abrego Garcia was an active MS-13 member. The documents, though, don't make any mention of his tattoos. They don't make any mention of it. Someone else says here, thank you for posting a picture showing that someone on Team Trump had to Photoshop MS-13 on Abrego Garcia's hand. The fact that they had to add MS-13 to Abrego Garcia's knuckles show how desperate they are to prove he is an MS-13. It is important to look at the actual wording in Trump's True Social post to understand that Trump wanted to use the Photoshop picture to deceive people into believing that the letters MS-13 were actually tattooed on his hand. And I believe that's true, because he says here, this said he is not a member of MS-13, even though he's got MS-13 tattooed on his knuckles. So Trump wanted folks to believe that this thing right here, the MS-13, is on his hand. And I'm sure there's many people who follow him who do. And I want to just say, if we're locking people up because of tattoos, what's going on with this guy, Pete Hegseth? These are white Christian nationalist tattoos, from what I've been told. And what about this tattoo? I think if we see tattoos like this, we gotta walk on the other side of the street. We gotta walk on the other side of the street. Watch your pocketbook if you see tattoos like this, because if you are tattooing Trump's name on your body, there is something going on in your life that is not good. Make better decisions. And if you see someone with a Trump tattoo, protect yourself. Protect yourself. And Donald Trump also got played by his Secretary of State yesterday, admitting defeat.
The war in Ukraine.
And this is from our friends at Midas Touch. But on the top here, you have Donald Trump saying he's going to end this Ukraine war real fast. And then Marco Rubio admitting defeat.
4 hours.
Yes, I do.
How would you do that?
I know Zelensky very well.
I'll end that war between those two countries in 24 hours. It won't even take that long.
No one's saying this can be done in 12 hours, but we want to see how far apart it is and whether those differences can even be narrowed. So we came here yesterday to sort of begin to talk about more specific outlines of what it might take to end the war, to try to figure out very soon, and I'm talking about a matter of days, not a matter of weeks, whether or not this is the war that can be ended.
If for some reason one of the two parties makes it very difficult, we're just going to say you're foolish, you're fools, you're horrible people, and we're going to just take a pass.
All right, so how I want to just frame all of this, put this all in the context. So this is the White House that is flailing, it's failing. They are clearly not up to the task, but they're also losing. They're losing in the courts, they're losing on the national stage, they're losing on the world stage. And so let's keep up the pressure because it is working. We are winning, they are losing. And God damn it, the Supreme Court made a good decision, okay? Now let's see if Donald Trump follows that decision, and we'll see that. We'll see if that happens. But I am feeling more hopeful than I have in a long time, and that feels good, and I hope you feel hopeful too.